And this has been my kitchen. Give me head with hair. Long, beautiful hair. Well, I don't think I'm going to be in a Broadway musical of Hair anytime soon, but I do have it. Anyway, I had to get my hair out of the way because what we're making today is something gourmet. I don't know who this gourmet person is, but she sure is something in the kitchen. So let's see if we can match a recipe that is fit for any gourmet in the kitchen or in the ways of food enjoyment. Today we're going to do some filet mignon, but actually instead of wrapping it around the side, we're going to call it something else. We're going to call it bacon wrapped pork chops. All of these chops are going to get wrapped in bacon. And here is our turkey bacon for the job. We are also going to have, this is a first for us here at the Cooking with SonicBlu show, we are going to cook fresh asparagus. That's right, you heard us right, asparagus. And we are going to bacon wrap that as well. And we're going to cook it in some balsamic vinaigrette dressing. We're going to drizzle it over it before we bake it, and then we're going to bake it for about 12 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to get it out, and we're going to sprinkle it with some Parmesan cheese. That's what we got over there. So let's go for our ingredients and see what we have to work with. First, let's prepare our pork chops by breaking 3 eggs into a bowl. There's 1 broken egg. There we go. That's 2 broken eggs. And egg number 3. Good, no spare eggshells. And it dropped out all in one piece. I love it. Now, we're going to take these lovely eggs and we're going to beat them. That's right, we're going to beat them. Beat them! Beat those eggs, yeah. You've been very, very bad eggs, and I'm going to beat the living snot out of you. That's right. Take it. Take that. And that. Yeah, you've been very bad eggs. I'm going to beat the living snot out of you guys. Okay, those eggs are well beat. I think they're very sorry for what they did.
Well, speaking of bad, wherever he went today. Nothing he did today.
I'm more concentrating on getting this recipe to work. So we're going to give these guys an egg wash. Nice little egg bath there. And take it right into our mixture of, those are breadcrumbs, fried onion, and fried garlic. A combination of all 3. And when we got it coated, well, first of all, I see a bare baking dish. Oh yes, this is very vital to the step. First we need to lay down some butter, because that pork chop is going to stick like nobody's business. So,
actually, I was going to say real quick, if you want your pork chop a little bit extra crunchy, double dip it.
Well, we could do that, but I want to make sure that we don't stick to our pan. And we might actually need a lot more butter than this, so I'm going to go get another thing of butter after this. After this is over, so 3. And we'll go down here, put 3 more down. And that's just going to help keep our pork chops, they'll be nice and crispy too, but they won't stick as bad on the bottom of the pan. And if they do, then we'll just fry it up as best as we can, because we're just chefs in the kitchen and we don't mess with nature. And if it's nature's intention to make those pork chops stick, even after we've added all this butter, then I guess technically it was meant to be that way. Here's some more butter. And we got tons of butter to spare.
Thank you, food bank.
We have more butter than Paula Dean ever had in her kitchen at one time. We have it. We have butter upon layers upon layers upon bars of butter. We have so much butter that we could actually open up our own Fort Knox of butter. Okay, so since these are longer, we can get the job done a lot faster that way. And just put that there, and let's put one more right over there. Perfect.
I was gonna say also,
Let's move those two guys up and put some more butter down, just to be on the safe side, because you can never tell. You can never tell if you ever need more butter. Okay, so we'll just group those up.
I was gonna say also, thanks to Food Bank, we're kind of
Oh yeah,
oil kings too.
we're kings of oil and butter. So we got every single bottle of butter or oil and every single stick of butter known to man, and we got it here in the kitchen of Cooking with SonicBlu. So if you need any butter or if you need any vegetable oil, we got you covered. We got you more than covered. All right, speaking about covered, let's cover our pork chop with that stuff. Okay, so remember, dry hand, wet hand. So this is the dry hand. This is my dry hand. Always determine which is going to be your dry hand, which is going to be your wet hand. Okay, so once we got those, what we're going to do is reach for our bacon. We're going to open up our bacon. We're going to cover this right away with bacon. So we're going to bread our pork chop and then immediately cover it with bacon. And I think I will need those scissors after all, so let's get those scissors after these packages of le bacon. And we're going to cut these open. We have our bacon open, folks. And we're going to slide that out of there.
Hey.
And we're going to open that up, and we're going to take our first slice of turkey bacon. This is turkey bacon. We're having, oh, wait, dry hand. Dry hand here, okay. And we're going to, since this bacon is thick enough, we can start there and wrap there. We might need another slice of bacon. So it looks like we might need all the bacon that we can muster. Okay. Up. And remember, folks, turkey bacon does not stretch as well as beef bacon does. So if you use turkey bacon, be very careful. So we're going to lay that right down on the top of that butter. And we're going to go to our next pork chop. Where's our pork chop? It's right underneath the bacon. Okay, wet hand. Handles the pork chop. And it goes into the egg bath. This is the wet hand. My wet hand is my left hand. Once it's really soaked with that egg, then grab the breadcrumbs, immediately cover. Now with my dry hand, which is my right hand, I'm going to make sure that that breading stays on there. I'm going to take some extra and kind of pat that down like that. And just cover the heck out of that with breadcrumb and garlic and onion. Lift it up. There it is. It's okay to have some excess on the top of that. Take it over here, and with the wet hand, grab your bacon. I'm going to cover that up as best as we can. Tuck that in, tuck it in. There we go. Thank you, bacon. You can cooperate with me. Very good. Take our other bacon. I'm going to probably lose some breadcrumb, but that's okay. This is a messy job, but somebody's got to do it. There we go. Tuck that in there.
If you want some good eats.
That's right. If food don't get all over the place, then it must not be good enough to go in your face. Okay, repeat that process over and over again until you have all your pork chop done, wrapped, breaded, everything. Careful. There we go. Right onto the butter and scrunch you down. Okay. Now we're going to wait for the oven to heat up. While we do that, let's clean up some mess here, and I'll show you the next step, what we're going to do after that. All right. Now, let me show you what we're going to be working with on how to do our asparagus. So, you're going to need a roasting pan just like that. It's going to be slotted, or at least has a little pattern here with raised dots. So, you're going to need that because then your asparagus will sit above any of the drizzle that we put in there. And then it'll become crispier that way. So, take your bundle of asparagus. And what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to take a little bundle here. We're going to rinse it in cold water. Make sure we get them nice and clean. You want them to be nice and squeaky clean when you're working with asparagus. And then just give that a little pat there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to prepare our asparagus. How to prepare your asparagus? Well, this end we don't need. So we're going to find the place where you snap, and it's a natural place. See? Snap. That's about what you need. Discard that part. We're going to need that part. So that's how you determine where to cut your asparagus. You just take one end and the other end and bend it in half until you get a snap, and that's perfect. Do this for all the asparagus you have. Snap. And it'll make a clean snap every time, right where you need it. Snap. That is how you prepare asparagus. An easy way that asparagus is prepared, and you don't need scissors, you don't need a knife, just know where to snap. Very easy.
We can go ahead and throw these away, right?
Yep. As they are of no good. They're way too tough. There's nothing you can do with them. They're not like stalks of broccoli where you can actually do something with it. With these, you can't do nothing with them. They're way too hard, way too rough. I mean, the most you can do is maybe boil it and get some vegetable broth going, but that's about it. Oh, this one's not. There we go. Okay. Once. Ha 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 ha. Yes, indeed. All right. So that's what we're keeping. That's what we're throwing away. And look at your asparagus now. What we're going to do now is we're going to need to pat those dry. You want dry asparagus, and you want to make sure that all your asparagus is as dry can be. So, unfortunately, we don't have any paper towels, so we get the next best thing, napkins. And we'd like to thank the people at Taco Bell and Burger King for supplying us an endless supply of napkins with our food. They go to help us whenever we don't have paper towels, so thank you guys. Okay, those are dry. Those are good and dry. Just repeat for all of the asparagus you have, and just take a little handful there and just pat them dry. The reason why they need to be dry, folks, is because asparagus does not catch anything you're going to put on it later. It's going to run right off like water off a duck's back if it's wet. And this is why we need to pat these dry. And it's better for roasting, so that way your asparagus also does not turn out too soggy. We want them to be roasted, not soggy. Because soggy asparagus is no good. And asparagus is very delicate of a vegetable. It is well loved by many, and some people make a serious case out of cooking asparagus. There's a lot of people out there that are very serious about how they cook their asparagus, how they enjoy their asparagus, and for that purpose, it's best to respect their feelings. Be respectful to your asparagus. You'll turn out some really amazing asparagus recipes if you do. So, that's good. We're going to pat those. Those are patted dry. Now the last bundle. Get in there. We're going to pat those dry too. Pat them dry, pat them dry, pat them dry. Okay. Yeah, that one didn't get patted dry, but neither did that one. But that one is. Those ones are. Let's redo these two. That should do it. Good. Excellent. Perfect. Wonderful. Now, here's what we're going to do with our asparagus. First things first. We're going to lay them all out. Lay them all out. And there's our oven. Okay, 1 minute oven. I can only do one thing at a time. Lay out your asparagus. Remember, this is a delicate procedure. I'm working with asparagus. And make sure that they don't overlap. Because what we want to do here is lay them out so we can drizzle them evenly. And a few up here and one over here. Perfect. Okay, now let's put our pork chops away in the oven. And this is going to cook for about 45 minutes. So we say goodbye to our pork chops for 45 minutes. Bye-bye, pork chops. See you next week. No, see you in 45 minutes. Okay, now that we have our asparagus laid out, first thing we're going to do is reach for our extra virgin olive oil. And we're just going to give it a little drizzle. Just a little drizzle. And what that's going to do is it's going to help keep it moist. There we go. Just drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. Just like that. Don't rush this job. It's very delicate. Just give it a little drizzle here. We just want to make them nice and moist. Okay. This is why we pat them dry, so that way the water and the oil don't collide. Because oil and water do not mix. Okay, perfect. Next, we are going to season them up with a little pepper. While you still have your oil, your extra virgin olive oil, we're going to pepper it. The pepper will stick to the oil and make sure that your asparagus will be fully seasoned properly. Okay, that's good enough pepper. And then just a little touch of salt. About like that, not too much. Then, the magic ingredient. What I have in my hand is 4-leaf balsamic vinaigrette. And it's going to be drizzled very carefully, just for flavor, folks. So pour it into the cap and then drizzle it like this over your asparagus. We just want to drizzle. We're not going to soak it. We're not going to marinate it. We need to drizzle it because we're after the flavor, not the sauce. We're not saucing these up. We're just after the flavor. And we just pour a little bit like that, and down here, and like this, and just get them nice and drizzled, and get a little bit extra up here. Make sure it's nice and drizzled. You can see they are nice and drizzled. You know what? We should have saved this step after we wrapped them in bacon. We might have to drizzle those again. I forgot about our bacon, which is sitting pretty right in here.
Yeah, and there you go, folks. There's all the butter.
Yeah, you see all that butter?
Butter for days.
Yep. Don't need any more butter, that's for sure. Okay, so now we're going to take this other bacon. Going to use the scissors to cut this guy open. And what we're going to do is we might have to redo the drizzle. I forgot, first we need to wrap it in bacon, then we drizzle it, and then we bake it for 12 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So since that has to bake for 12 minutes only, we're going to wait until that comes out 12 minutes before and add those into it. So that way everything gets done at the same time. So here's our lovely bacon. And what we're going to do with this bacon, first we got to separate them because they're all stuck together very nicely. Okay. Let me put that on there because I need something to put it on. Okay. We're going to take a bundle. We're going to divide it between 3 servings because there's 3 of us in the house. So we're going to take that serving 1. This is going to be serving 2. And this will be serving 3. So about an even amount. That little one over there. And then this one down here. So 3 equal amounts. And that's about equal. We're going to take our bacon, our unhealthy bacon, and wrap it around something healthy. How does that happen? How does that work, folks? I don't know. We're going to just wrap the bacon right around the middle of our asparagus. We're not going to wrap it around the whole thing, just the middle. And there's 1 bundle. And look, it's still got the drizzle on it, so we might not have to re-drizzle. Now let me get my second piece of bacon. You know what? We could have used some of the spare bacon on those pork chops over there, but oh well. Oh well. That's okay. I'm sure however it turns out will turn out just lovely. And we're going to wrap you with some bacon. Lay you right down there. Perfect.
And there you go. Also, difference between beef bacon and the turkey bacon. And you can see it's a little stretchier.
Beef bacon is stretchier and stickier because it will wrap and stick to about anything you need to wrap and stick it to. Now that's our third bundle of asparagus. And we're going to set that down right there. Okay, so it still has our drizzle on it, but since I did touch it, I'm just going to add a little bit more drizzle for effect. And over our bacon too. Just a little more for flavor, in case some of that drizzle came off in my hands. A little bit more up there. And we're just going to bake this for 12 minutes, so it's going to be nice and crispy when it comes out of there. And very flavorful, because now we have bacon wrapped asparagus au vinaigrette. And it's bacon wrapped asparagus au vinaigrette. So, I guess technically it could have a French accent to it. This is asparagus, bacon wrapped asparagus au vinaigrette. And then after it's done cooking, and we pull that out after 12 minutes later, we are going to sprinkle it with some Parmesan cheese. Now that's going to taste lovely, folks. And I bet you've never thought that you can prepare asparagus like this. But we're trying something new in the kitchen, and I decided, well, I can go over asparagus recipes on the internet. I can try to find a combination that works. And unfortunately, a lot of the things that worked, we don't have the ingredients for. So we are going to do it the same way I do most everything. Experimentation. This is merely an experimentive recipe. This is an experiment, and no, I have not seen any recipe online for bacon wrapped asparagus au vinaigrette, which is why I'm calling it bacon wrapped asparagus au vinaigrette. Now, while we are cooking our pork chops, turn your eyes this way. You say you like mac and cheese? Well, brother, you haven't tried these mac and cheese. This is the Cheetos mac and cheese. So if you like mac and cheese and you like Cheetos, put them both together and you got Cheetos mac and cheese. So hopefully Chester Cheetos got something there when he came out with these. Ooh, you know what I thought about? You know what I thought?
You want to cook the bacon bits and chop them?
Chop up the bacon bits and put them in with mac and cheese. Hey, there's an
Cheetos
idea.
mac and cheese.
Cheetos
with bacon.
with bacon. Oh yes.
Bacon bits.
With bacon bits. So
Oh,
we
wait.
got to pre-cook the bacon though. We got to pre-cook the bacon. So let's put the eggs away. We didn't need any more eggs, that's for sure. That was a perfect amount of eggs. And now, what we're going to do with our bacon is we can put it right in our pot that we're going to be making the, actually, you know what, let's chop it up first, then we'll cook it, because it's easier that way. And where's my trusty knife? There it is. And where's my trusty cutting board? There's one. Okay. Now we're going to take the knife here, and we're going to just cut up some of these pieces here from our bacon, and we're going to just pre-cook those up. And we're just going to cut them into little pieces like this.
Pretty much bacon on everything tonight now.
This is a bacon night. Because if you got the extra bacon, think about what you want to do with that spare bacon. If you don't want to hold on to it until tomorrow morning and have it with your sausages or your omelets or your eggs, then just cook it up with whatever you have handy on your side. And this could go into baked potatoes. It could go onto mashed potatoes. Yes, it could go into anything that you happen to have on the side. You can just mix it right up in there. If you're having noodles, have it with bacon.
Pasta salad.
Pasta salad, you can put the bacon in there.
Broccoli bacon pasta?
Broccoli bacon pasta is a possibility too. The possibilities are practically endless when it comes to bacon. So we're just going to drop all those bacon slices and pieces and whatnot into our pot. As this is the same one we're going to be cooking the mac and cheese in. Well, we're going to rinse out all the grease that leaves behind the bacon, so we're just going to get it nice and crispy. And then we're going to rinse out the pot, set the bacon aside, and then start on our mac and cheese. And then after we're done with that, this should be ready for the oven. So we're going to cook those. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to clean up our mess. Just a little extra salt and pepper just in case. Perfect.
Pork chops are already smelling really good.
Are they?
You don't smell
Don't
it?
you wish you had smell-o-vision here? You could be smelling what we're smelling. Okay. Now I'm going to need a spoon. That's a rice paddle. I said spoon. That's another rice paddle. How did I get so many rice paddles? Here we go. There's a spoon. Well, because of all the rice we have. You should see our rice supply. You think we got a lot of butter? Wait till you see our rice supply. We got about 20 or so bags of rice.
And potato and flaked potato.
Yeah, potato flakes. We got a good supply of envelopes of that stuff. And
Tomato sauce.
tomato sauce up the wazoo, canned goods up the wazoo. Hey, you know what? At Cooking with SonicBlu, you ain't gonna go hungry. But you have to eat what we make you. And if you don't like what we make you, then you go hungry. But you can guarantee that you're gonna find something delectable, delicious, and uttermost mouth-watering, good right here in this kitchen. So give it a little mix there, get it spread out a little bit. And we're going to wait for that to heat up, that to bake, and then 12 minutes before we pull this out, we're going to put this in. And that's absolutely perfect the way it is. So you don't need to do anything more with your asparagus, and just put it in there, bake it until the bacon is nice and crispy, about 12 minutes, and that, my friends, is how you make bacon-wrapped asparagus au vinaigrette. And then we're going to have...
And pork chops. And bacon dipped mac and cheese.
Bacon-wrapped pork chops, and... mac and cheese au bacon. Or would it be bacon a la mac and cheese? I don't know. I haven't decided what to call it yet. But we can just call it mac and cheese with bacon and bacon wrapped pork chop and bacon wrapped asparagus au vinaigrette. That sounds good enough to me. Can you imagine the title card for all of that? I'm gonna have to make the font. I'm gonna have to make the font really small on our title card for this episode. Okay, so that bacon is starting to cook up, so let's give it some time, because it won't be cooking much if you keep stirring it, so we're just gonna let it sit for a little bit.
Yeah, points to whoever can say the percentage in a human body.
Yes, do you know how much percent of water is in the human body? Alright, now this bacon is cooking up really nicely. So, as you can see, it's already starting to brown up nicely. And this must be the low-fat bacon, because I don't see that much grease. Just enough to cook it. So, keep on cooking then. Maybe we are eating health-conscious bacon. Maybe it's less fat. Who knows? Anything can happen here in the kitchen of Cooking with SonicBlu. Because...
Should I find the package?
At one point...
See if it is.
At one point, I'm talking about reducing the amount of soda intake I have in my diet. The next thing you know, I'm eating reduced fat bacon. Can this very well be possible that SonicBlu is going health conscious?
Turkey
Who knows?
and low fat.
Yeah. Alright, so give this a good stir, stir, stir. Stir, stir, stir. Yeah, we won't need to clean this out, because that didn't produce that much juices. Just enough to keep this bacon drying out. Okay. A little bit more cooking time and we'll be ready for our mac and cheese. And to do that, I'm going to get my water ready. Or you know what? I can just pour it right in there. I don't need this. I just pour it right in. Bold and cheesy.
So the question is, with Cheetos, is it going to be powder or sauce?
Powder.
Powder?
I'm guessing my vote on powder. Okay, so that's good so far. We don't need any draining on that. Just add the water. Now, when you have the water, the grease from the bacon is going to come up and turn up in your water. That's okay. If you really like your grease and the water, that flavor is just going to mix right into those noodles. Alrighty then, that's good enough. Let's move them back over here and turn up the fire a bit to bring it to a boil. And then we're going to add our noodles. And first, let's find out if I'm correct. Is it going to be squeezy cheese or powdered cheese? Or is it just going to be the leftover Cheeto cheese that winds up on your fingers when you're done eating a bag of Cheetos? It's
Powder.
powder! And look at that. It looks like a rotini or something. Yeah. Nice and curly. I was thinking maybe it'd be like Chester Paws or something. And that's okay, as long as it's nice and cheesy, the way we love it. As you can see, we got our noodles down, just waiting for them to get out of their al dente state and just become a little bit more cooked. They'll be ready for cheesing. But right now, we're ready to slip these guys into the oven. And let's take a look at our pork chops. Look at those. That's going to cook for 12 minutes. Let's take a look at our pork chops. Ooh, I think they're just about ready. They look almost ready. Another 12 minutes and they should be done. But you see all that butter underneath there? Didn't have to spray it. You don't have to worry about scraping the heck out of it to lift it up. That's good cooking. And now that the asparagus is in the oven, we got 12 more minutes of cooking time. So let's go over now and drain up our noodles. And we're just gonna drain them off with this thing. Chop with the steam. Perfect. Oh, look at that cheese. It's orange. I mean, really, like the same type of cheese they use on the Cheeto snacks. That is bright orange. Look at the color. Oh, look at the smell. The smell is just knocking me over. Ah, it smells just like Cheetos. It does smell like Cheetos. Oh my God, this is gonna be great. I can't wait to sink my teeth into this. Wow, look how orange this is. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I think we found our new favorite mac and cheese variety. What do you think? Oh boy, I can't wait for this. Okay, now we're gonna need some milk and butter. Melts a little easier that way. Milk over here. Little at a time. Grab my spoon. Let's mix this up. That looks good. That looks good enough to eat. Oh my God. Hurry up and finish cooking. I want to eat now. I want to eat now. And the residual heat from the heating coil on the stove helped cook that milk back into our noodles to make them nice, moist, cheesy, creamy. But that's not what I'm really eager to see. Let's check the results on our asparagus and our pork chops. Here they come. First, the pork chops. Here they are. Ooh. Oh, yes. There's our pork chops. Next, our asparagus. Bingo! Look at that. Oh, perfect. That was absolutely perfect. So, there you have it. Let's say we serve this stuff up with the pork chops. That'll just pick right up off of the oil there.
Might stick just the tiniest bit, but it'll be a lot easier.
There we go. Push that off onto the plate. Give me another one. Oh, that came right off without a fight. And right off to the plate. Give me number 3. And right off onto the plate. There we go. Look at that. Ooh. Yeah. Asparagus. Bacon wrapped out vinaigrette.
Since it's been bundled, they're real easy to pick up.
Oh yes. And now. Oh moment I've been waiting for. The mac and cheese. Let's push those off to the side and get some room for our mac and cheese Cheeto style. I'm gonna get some bacon in there too, because put some of that in there. There we go. 5 spoonfuls should be enough. Good. There you have it. There's our dish. How could we forget a little sprinkling of Parmesan cheese right on top of the asparagus? Just like that. First of all, I want to try the noodles
Wait,
first.
did you wash that?
It came out of the sink, or the drawer.
Oh, okay. Thought it was the one we mixed eggs earlier.
Nope. I like mine without the hair. That's good. Very good indeed. Next, I'm going to taste bacon wrapped pork chops with turkey bacon. There we go. Hot. Ooh, that's hot. That turned out perfect. Next, I'm going to take some from the top here with some bacon. That came out good too. Amazing. The asparagus did not overcook at all. It's still crispy. Even though we drizzled it with olive oil and we drizzled it with our vinaigrette, it's still crispy. And that's how you want to keep your asparagus. You don't want to overcook it. That is so good. And there you have it, folks. A complete meal fit for any bit of royalty, or your own family, or close relatives, or friends, or whomever you happen to be preparing this with. They're going to love you for it. They're going to think that you went to Applebee's for this stuff. No. Just tell them, hey, I made it myself, and thanks to SonicBlu Darkfold for giving me that recipe. That's what you're going to say. But for right now, I have one thing to say. With ingredients like this, if you're not cooking good, you're not eating good. And this is some damn good eating, if you know what's good for you. Bacon wrapped pork chops, bacon wrapped asparagus au vinaigrette, and Cheetos mac and cheese. A meal fit for a king. So, tune us in next time, and we don't know what we're cooking next, but we're sure you're going to love it. So remember, if you're not cooking good, you're not eating good. And I'm going to be eating good with this. Bye.
Are we having fun?
I'm just plucking away on my one-string guitar. Gonna go far with my one-string guitar. No, I ain't. This is just silliness. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll open up a restaurant. Everything's wrapped in bacon.
Yeah, we'll call them bacon wrappers. And then the logo will be like, two rappers, rapping artists with hats on backwards and wearing the bling, and one of them standing there scratching. Yeah. And the other one's rapping about bacon. Bacon wrappers. Hey, we can hire bacon wrappers. They can go to each table. Well, you don't want to do that because they'd be spitting on everybody's food. So no beatboxing. No beatboxing in this restaurant. No, no.
Especially in your hand.
Right.
Unless you want to wash your hands every 5 seconds.
Yeah, but you don't want beatboxers swarming around your kitchen, or not your kitchen, but also your dining room, because that's where the customers will be enjoying bacon-wrapped food, and you don't want rappers to come up and start beatboxing at your table. Just call it a hunch, but I like mine without the saliva.
Well, at least for this episode, we're not doing the weird bacon flavor stuff.
No, that'll be
making
another
good
episode.
food.
That'll be another episode. Bacon-wrapped dog food chunks. We can do that.
Well, no, I was talking more of like, the bacon soda and bacon
Well,
gum.
we already did the baking soda bit. I ain't doing that no more.
Oh.
I am not doing the baking soda bit. We've already done that bit. No more baking soda for me.